pity will is it not our people to bring so much shame upon
Destiny awaits.
So prior to going to the Fringe, we'd launched a petition to secure a royal prerogative of mercy on the name of Richard Lewis. We were around 1,500 signatures at that point, which is exceptional in itself, but on the back of our week-long run in Edinburgh, that soon escalated to around 5,000 signatures, and some pretty notable people now then back in the project, people like Lord Neil Kinnock and Professor Sir Christopher Evans, and it was really gathering speed.
Well, the play is just an amazing example of how you can bring a story to life. This is something that happened 200 years ago, and yet the play brings it in a modern setting with those young people, many of them quite young, who are acting in the play, giving voice to this really important chapter in our history. So I think what the play will help us to do in the campaign more broadly is to also give it that dramatic twist and to help people to engage emotionally with the issue, to understand what a terrible injustice was done here. And I think that that can only help us to make our point even more strongly and more vocally with the Ministry of Justice and everybody else who's campaigning to get a posthumous pardon for Dick Penderyn.
I think it would be absolutely the right thing to do. Dick Penderyn has become the Welsh working class martyr, and he needs to be given the posthumous pardon because he deserved it. He was very much made the scapegoat of what happened in Merthyr, and it would be only right and proper that the officials of the country recognise that there was a travesty of justice and he should be pardoned.
Because the story of Dick Penderyn is the story of the Welsh working class. It is the story of what happened in Wales around the time of the Industrial Revolution, where Welsh men and women were put to work in the mines, and of course with the Merthyr Uprising in the iron mining industry, how a very small capitalist elite made a very large amount of money out of exploiting the working class, making them work and live in completely unacceptable conditions. And we must never forget where we came from. We must never forget, as the people of Wales, what our heritage is and how those working class communities and how heroes of the working class like Dick Penderyn fought for the rights that eventually we did begin to win, although there's still a very, very long way to go. But those slow, gradual improvements in terms of people's pay and conditions and health and safety at work, all of which have been won through trade unions and workers campaigning. And Dick Penderyn and the people who took part in that Merthyr Uprising, they were the ancestors, the forefathers, if you like, the foundations of the struggle that still goes on today. And that's why it's so important that we never forget what happened to Dick Penderyn and with the Merthyr Uprising of 1831.
I suppose it was always part of the project to take it to Parliament, to the Ministry of Justice, to the monarch, to secure that long overdue pardon. Shortly after returning from Edinburgh, though, Queen Elizabeth II passed away, which, needless to say, felt inappropriate for us to be taking anything to Parliament, to the head of state around that time, and also give us a bit of time as well to look at other means and ways by which we can secure further signatures. I mean, that key target, I suppose, is always 10,000. If we can hit 10,000, then that'll trigger a debate in Parliament and give us the best possible fighting chance to secure an innocent man's name.
I miss it now. I miss not doing anything with it, you know, although everything we do now is purely screen-led, really, because, you know, it's, for petitions and things. But those early days of birthing it, if you like, was just amazing. It really was.
So after closing at the Fringe, it was really important for me that we didn't lose any momentum, that we kept the project relevant and sort of, you know, at the forefront of the public domain and people still talking about it. Now, easier said than done. Social media was obviously a strong tool for us in that. I've also been meeting with senior political members to campaign for the play to be introduced onto the expressive arts area of the National Curriculum of Wales. So legislation has been passed to make it mandatory for schools to teach Welsh history, and there's not a great deal of scope on the arts area for that. So I've been a firm advocate that taking it from the page onto the stage is the best means by which you can teach the next generation about these pivotal moments in the history of our country. Also, on the anniversary of us closing at the Fringe and the anniversary of Dick Penderyn's wrongful execution, so that was Sunday the 13th of August 2023 at the Dick Penderyn Memorial at the graveside, I came up with a bit of a publicity stunt, tied it in with a few charities to do the full cortege from Cardiff, St Mary's Street, to the graveside, about 56 kilometres in total, joined by my stalwart friends Lee McQuaid, Aled Humphreys and Big Al. But I wanted to do it with a twist.
A man has walked from Cardiff to Port Talbot barefoot today to commemorate the anniversary of Dick Penderyn's execution.
Learn anything from our ancestors, it's that solidarity. We live in a very divisive society. We must strive for tolerance and forgiveness. We must strive for unity, and that is what Dick Penderyn represents. For it is the mark of every human being, the legacy and impact we have on the lives of others. And there's none more so great than in this town, than the man that's buried there. And long shall he be remembered for it.
Of 1831, 10,000 workers marched as one, an insurrection had begun to end the debt of slavery.